Those with terminal cancer doing just that. KSHB 41 News anchor Sarah Plake, here's his voice and the message behind his podcast about death.
That's right, a podcast about death, you guys. And so I visited Chris Syme at his downtown apartment where he lets out a lifetime's worth of emotions into his microphone. The podcast Dying Out Loud is not just a legacy, but it's about living on purpose.
We had something rare, but the letter tends to be where I break down and all of my raw emotions come out. You were one of the great joys of my life, which is great. Raw emotions are very healthy, especially as you're dealing with grief for yourself and for others. The friendship that we had was real.
These words were originally goodbye letters.
You spend a lot of time in a chemo chair.
This is the second time Chris Syme has fought cancer. His diagnosis is terminal stage 4 colon cancer. How much time is left? He doesn't know. But now it's less of a fight to live and more a choice to live.
I've had amassed this collection of 74 letters written to a variety of people. And over the course of last summer, Anthony, my husband, decided, hey, we should do something with these, not just mail them. Like, we should make a video of you reading these to people.
Welcome back to Dying Out Loud.
And that's when his podcast came to life.
Where gratitude has no expiration date and where we say the things we often save for later.
Dying Out Loud turns those goodbye letters into a real living testament.
You both grew into people who love deeply, who fight for others.
Just reconnecting and sharing emotion with folks like that has been so tremendously helpful, healthy, and cathartic for me. And I've found so much joy and gratitude from it. That's also like a great booster shot. Like every morning, like waking up and finding the happiness.
Jacob said to someone else that was in the car with us.
In each episode, through the laughter.
And he put his little boy hands up.
And the tears.
You could have done one thing earlier. What would it have been and why?
With his kids, his husband, and other special people in his life.
My absolute favorite teacher.
Chris hopes listeners can find purpose despite death.
Not only are we sharing it with the world and letting other people, draw off of the lessons that we're learning in the moment, but I'm also reconnecting with people that I might not ever have had a reason to connect with again.
Chris recently shared that he's decided not to continue chemotherapy so he can live his life to the fullest.
This season is about hope, and it's about living fully inside of your reality, not avoiding it.
That is the heart and soul of the podcast, Chris says.
Talking about death has really allowed me to find the kind of hope that I need. I just feel a lot more ready for what's inevitable than I've ever felt before. And there's a great sense of peace in that.
Until that day, Chris says he'll continue choosing connection and invites all of us to do the same.
Until next time, I'm your host, Chris Syme, and this has been Dying Out Loud.
It was truly a pleasure to get to know Chris and his husband, Anthony. And Chris wants everyone to keep this in mind. Newly released data from the American Cancer Society shows that colorectal cancer is the #1 cause of cancer deaths in men and women under 50.
That begs us to lower the age for a colonoscopy. And if I had my way, I would say that any young adult that has gastrointestinal issues should be eligible for a colonoscopy.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear that because, colon cancer has always been considered like a disease that affects older people. But, with this new data and his podcast, it's really just an invitation to have that connection with people you love, but also to get yourself checked and screened and all of those important things you need to do.
It is so powerful still to see him live.
Oh, absolutely. Choosing to live despite everything he's against.
Yes.
Very touching. Yeah. And good for him. He's getting a chance to say all the things that maybe people, you wish you can say when you're losing a loved one.
Yeah. Say it
and
now.
so you get to say it now. Yeah. That was a beautiful story, Sarah, and we wish him well on his journey.
Thank you. We do too. And so to find this story, all the links to the podcast and information about colorectal cancer, all of that's online right now, kshb.com.